Today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it. Today is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it. There's been a lot of talk during the holidays about depression and suicide, and we've seen a lot of increase in violence and domestic violence situations. When you turn on the news, it's either something about COVID-19 or either there's something about some form of violence, whether it's domestic violence or just plain out homicide. Just a lot of carelessness in the world at this time. And God says there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. But I think the time and the place has always been to pray and to fast, Because in order to be the change that we want to see in this world, we have to promote change. If we sit here and we are laughing at and sharing things, even on social media, that are negatively impactful to others, we are contributing to the madness. Sometimes all a person needs is just a little bit of positivity just to help them and guide them through the day. All it takes is just one hello, one good morning, one how was your day? And that's all that somebody needs. Sometimes in passing, when you give somebody a smile, that might be the smile that they needed. But so many times we are all out for self, and we're failing to realize that there are people out here who are truly hurting. There are people who are deeply depressed. There are people who, if we push the wrong buttons, they could either become suicidal or homicidal. And that's just a trend that I see that we need to break away from. There is always a talk of unity. We see the families come together for the funerals. Occasionally we see them for the baby showers and the weddings. But when it comes to, coming together and giving praises, where are we in that? How many of us can say that during the pandemic, we didn't make up an excuse not to still worship? Worship looks different in the pandemic than it did before, but the God that we served prior to the pandemic is still the same God that we serve on today. Your Bible is still the same Bible. The words didn't change inside the Bible. We have Bible apps now. We have access to the Word via social media and other platforms. We can worship with YouTube. There are so many different things. We have Zooms where we can do full revivals or full-fledged sermons, that we can listen to motivate us, but rather, instead, a lot of times we are just feeding our minds with all this negativity. Yes, there are a lot of things that have taken place in 2020, but they haven't all been bad. They haven't all been bad, because one thing that you and I can both relate to, if you are watching this video right here today, we can relate to, we were here on January the 1st, 2020, and today is Tuesday, December the 29th, 2020. We've come a mighty long ways. Even in the midst of this pandemic, we've come a mighty long ways. But that doesn't mean we're exempt, because there are still 2 more days in this year. There are still 2 more days in this year, but God has allowed us to grace this earth for this long, and that within itself is a blessing. So many times we just neglect the things that, God just freely does for us. It's a blessing to be here. So be a blessing to somebody else. Stop being mean. If there's a kind word to share, share that kind word. If there is negativity, keep it to yourself. If somebody's hurting, ask what it is that you can do. Sometimes they don't need you to talk to them. Sometimes they just need you to sit back and to listen to them. Sometimes that's all that is ever needed, just a listening ear. Can you be a listening ear and a closed mouth sometimes? Sometimes that's all that a person needs. And sometimes they don't even want to say a mumbling word to you. They just need to know that they can sit alongside you Even if they're sitting in silence, just knowing that y'all are both on the same accord. Today, each one help one. And that's what I've been adding to my mental health posts lately. Each one help one. If you can help somebody, help them. But please don't go around and hurt them. There are enough grieving families in this world, but even more so in our community. We need to stop the violence. We need to stop harming one another. We need to stop. We need to stop marrying if we know that we are not ready to marry. We need to stop disrupting other people's marriages just because we are not happy. We need to stop trying to play get back with this person or that person, and we just need to live and love in harmony and peace, and be the peace and the comfort that somebody needs, and not that destruction and the negativity. If there's one thing that you can do for me for this day, and I don't ask for much from anybody, just pass along a positive word to someone. Just give someone, a virtual high five. Give someone a smile. I love to smile. I love to talk also, but just be positive. Somebody somewhere needs it, because you just don't know who might have been about to put a gun to their own heads. You don't know who might have been about to put a knife or a blade to their wrist. You don't know what other people are going through. So please, one of the most simplest things that you can do is to be kind to others. First, be kind to yourself and be kind to others. God will bless you for it. Have a wonderful and blessed day, everyone.